Hey guys, it's been a while, yep. I've been trying to record this multiple times, but for some reason I'm just getting called by random scammers for some reason. Anyway, I'm just gonna say this quickly, saying sorry for not recording. I've been not gonna make excuses and just blatantly say I was procrastinating most of the time. That I tried to log into my Discord again, and for freeing my space, I kind of deleted all of the thumbnails, and sadly, even the badass intro. Sorry. And this what if is a new idea. And to be honest, I've been kind of saddened that very little people do Jaune what ifs. Because my boy has the same amount of potential as both Asta and Izuku. Y'all can like blatant badmouth me for whatever you say, but I see that potential within Jaune. Jaune deserves some loving, so I'm gonna do this what if for him. Y'all can hate me for it, and I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care. Anyways, for y'all that are happy that that someone is doing a Jaune what if, hey, how you doing, my brothers? How you doing? Anyways, let's do the what if, okay? And just to clarify, I am going by the movies, not the books. I have not read the books at all. So if I miss any information, just comment down in the comment section, okay? Anyway, let's continue. I don't know how I do where that voice came from. Anyways, let's continue. So we begin in the castle, in the dark lands, where Salem is kneeling down in defeat, as Ruby, Jaune, Nora, and Ren stand beside the other four girls. As they look older, as Jaune looks like he's in his 20s, like near his mid-20s, same as like everyone else. So basically, yeah. As then instantly Salem just punches the ground saying, "Why? Why was I defeated? It was a foolproof plan." Oh, just letting you know, Cinder's killed by Jaune himself, which was satisfying, but anyways. As she contemplates what went wrong, everything was foolproof, everything was gonna happen. The day of judgment was happening, where she was gonna end this curse, where she was gonna be freed. She was finally able to be able to taste death, to be free from such a curse, and finally able to see the end, not see everything continue, where she has eternal life and stand while everything around her withers away, moment by moment, minute by minute. As Oscar, also known as Ozpin, just to let you know, Oscar is still there. He's not fully taken by Ozpin. It's because because everyone in Ruby, mostly due to Jaune, able to find something which is called the Apple of And yes, this is a nod to something else. And the tree of because a tree that was planted by himself, R.I.P. Monty you shall be missed. And basically, because of the specific magical plant that did put down, it had magical properties and also miraculous effects due to certain things. Let's say if you had an incurable illness, bam, instantly cured. If you're cursed by some powerful magic, bam, the curse is lifted. But there's certain stages it can do. It can cleanse the curse. For example, let's say you're basically Osbin's curse. It's made by gods themselves, so it's not able to instantly cure the curse or cleanse the curse itself, but mostly able to slow it down to the point that it's almost stops, but it's super duper super slow, basically. And if you're immortal, if you have the curse of immortality, it same thing as Ospen. It doesn't instantly stop it, but it's like if you're like it has like a how do I say this? You're able. It's almost like Naruto kind of cure. Like you're able to heal yourself, but you can still die in a sense. Like if you are decapitated, you're instantly dead. If like if you're like if they take your heart out, dead. It's you're not immortal. It's like able to heal like some specific wounds, but it's not able to heal all wounds. You know what I mean? So it has but it can also heal any sickness, anything even bring back people from the dead, which is what I'm trying to say. Which the fruit of it is OP as hell. Yes, and it's something that I just thought of. But the reason why they were able to find the fruit of was because of Jean Arc's family. Jean Arc was able to find an old journal that dated thousands and thousands of years ago, to the point where the whole entire second cycle of human and faunus were made. And in this journal, literally was speaking of a literal magical fruit that can do miraculous things. Like I said before, the fruit of and not just that, they were able to find a way to a library that was hidden somewhere in Remnant that was able to be found, and this library is personal library. He is able to do magic, the like like theories of multiversal dimensions, everything else, and even videotapes of himself about theories, how magic should be used, how magic should be given to everyone in the world, how they should experience this incredible phenomenon. And the thing is, he was just a regular mortal man in the beginning, and he was given this instant meaning and everything. And later down the line, as it showed in videos, he was starting to become different in each one. The first one, he was an energetic man, and then the last one shows almost like he was indifferent, he wasn't human anymore, yet he still had empathy. He became a god, as everyone else knows him by Monty, the god that created them. Because Monty was the one that created the lands between lands, like the Ever After and everything else. He was able to create this world specifically because he was able to transcend his own mortality. And after hearing all of this and seeing Monty and everything, everyone was shocked because he was just a regular mortal man. And he was able to do things, he was able to gain knowledge that was forbidden and everything. And then in the library, they're able to find ways to stop the curse, which dictates the place of the fruit of Monty, the fruit of or Monty, whatever. But in this part, Jean finds a specific book, a magical book, not just any magical book though, not that shows magic, blah blah blah, stuff like that. No, it shows by the sense of it's a magical book that is able to trace back family lineages and is able to see the potential within every family lineage. Let's say you're someone that has let's say a powerful family, you're a farm boy. I'm using Oscar as an example. He's a farm boy, but then instantly it traces back all the way from thousands of lifetimes, generations before, and it shows him that he was actually royalty once. But basically he's not royalty anymore though. But that's just an example. That's not actually going to happen. I'm just using that as an example because I really hate Oscar for some reason. I don't know why, but the first time I saw Oscar, I just hated him. It's an untold hate that I really don't like because he's just a blanded, boring character. Personally for me, y'all, if you guys love Oscar, your choice. I won't judge you or anything. But personally, I just don't really like Oscar. But anyways, let's continue. as John was confused because the book was really just blank. All the pages, everything that from page 1 to all the way to the end of the page, it didn't show much pages really. It just showed blank, which confused John. And basically, he was just gonna, and he was like gonna leave the page alone. And let's just say he had one of his gloves off just and put like his gloves were off and just put them in like his pocket or like backpack, whatever, just to make it easy for me, and accidentally cut himself. And the blood fell. And of course, Ara is healing it, so yeah. And blood fell on the pages itself. And then he's like, oh crap, no, and he didn't like want to ruin the book. So he tried to like wipe it off, but sadly the blood wasn't being taken away. It's like it wasn't being wiped off or anything. It was like instantly it was soaked into the pages. And then John's name appeared all the way from the end of the book. And then for some reason John's name appeared, then Saffron's, and every other of his family members, then his dad. And then instantly like lines appeared where they were connected by two people. It was then his dad and his mom. And for his mom, instantly a line appeared about her mom and her dad. And it kept going back and further and further. Each page was like flipping itself over and over and over, like constantly going back in time, showing the names, and each time the names were changing. At first it was like changing to his name, John Arc, and then like his father Arc and Arc, blah 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 blah. Then it was starting to go into Arcadius, Arcadium, like Arceum. Like it started like the names were changing like from the past. It's because like from generations the names were different each time, because sometimes your name is different from the original name that you actually gained from, because you don't know. It happens to some people, so I don't know really. And it started to change and change and change and change until it reached the very first page. And it showed two names which shocked John to the very core. Because it showed Ozma Zanium. I'm just going to say Zanium because it sounds good. It's, in my opinion, Ozma Zanium. Then instantly, the name that shook him to the very core, the two names, were Osmond Arcadia, like Zanium, then instantly, Salem Arcadius, Saline. For some reason, Saline just came to my mind. I don't know, I just don't question it. But instantly, when Jean saw this, shock happened. Just complete and utter shock. He was fighting with and against both of his ancestors. Ozma, his ancestor, and Salem, his ancestor. And it showed his first ancestor, and it was basically showing 4 names, but basically 3 of them didn't like spread about, and only one continued the line. And that name was Jaune Arcadius. Which shocked him. Like, he is a descendant of the very woman he is meant to kill. He was meant to kill his own ancestor. The irony that both of his ancestors, he is fighting with his ancestor, Ozma, and fighting against his great ancestor, Salem. It's just something that his mind can't wrap around with. How are you supposed to fight against and with family? How can you? And we go back to the present day, where he's standing in front, showing the book. And basically, everyone's shocked seeing the book that from Monty's library, with Salem looking at the book, then looking back at Jean, then looking back at the book. She hesitantly grabs it, and Jean says, "Look at the first page." So she begrudgingly did. And it showed her name with Ozma. And she was angry. But then she looked at the four names, which she looks with dark, inky tears start to well up. A shock visibly shows to her face. One of her daughters survived. And it showed lines about her, the children of her daughter, her descendants, and and the descendants after that, and that, and that. Then it reached to where the last page showed. Jaune Arc. She dropped the book in shock, and so many complex emotions going rampant within her mind, saying, like hope, anger, despair, like all you can think of in that moment. As she looks up to see Jaune looking down at her, with everyone else confused, saying, Jaune? What's going on? As he picks up the book, as Oscar picks up the book, same reaction as Salem, with Oscar looking up at Jaune, saying, what the hell are the Holy oon. And then he starts laughing hysterically. And he's just like, everyone's nervous, scared of what's happening. What's the importance of such a book? With everyone getting close, with Oscar passing them the book. With such shock and this, like, incredible, like, everyone had differing opinions, different reactions to this. With shock seeing this. Everyone looking at Jaune and looking at the other three. Pity was the more stronger sense of emotion that was given, because Jaune was in the middle of a family feud that lasted for centuries without even knowing. And they were sent with Ozma, or Ozpin, how you ever want to call him, to kill his own ancestor, his own ex-wife. Something that nothing felt easy. Everyone felt pity for Jaune. First, it was because he lost his partner at the fall of Beacon, Pyra. Then he almost lost one of his few friends, Waze, but luckily his semblance was able to kick in, so he was lucky on that. But Atlas was when things started to get worse from there. Jaune said that he had to kill Penny. Everyone was angry. Some of them tried to understand why, and he explained everything. And of course, they didn't get angry with him. They understood the situation. Yet, Jaune felt like he didn't deserve their forgiveness. He didn't deserve anything good. Like, every time when he tries to save someone, when he's able to get there, he always has to do the toughest decisions ever. Even Ruby thinks that he's more of a hero than she ever was. Because he's able to do the most toughest decisions that no one is able to do. And the way that, even after the Ever After incident, where they figured out that Jaune was able to live for such a long time, like unknowing amount of time there alone, yet still keep somewhat of his own sanity there. They all basically kind of looked up to Jaune in a way, saying that he is a pillar of strength, of unknown strength, because you have to understand that Jaune was in the Ever After for an unknown amount of time, yet still able to keep his sanity somehow, with just these weird people. And of course, Juniper, the jackalope, it has to do a big part in that, since it kind of helped Jaune. And it's just like, wow. To be honest, if I was in his shoes, I would go mad completely. But Jaune had that amount of inner strength, inner sheer will to just go through that whole entire thing and wait for his friends, even though he could have possibly figured out a way to get out. And for like the everything that he went through in the whole entire part of that, like they looked up to him because he was literally the rusted knight. In a way, Blake kind of looked up to him as a hero. Like he was put into a pedestal, and because of the experience of Jaune fighting for like a known amount of time and for a long time, he was like the best fighter there. And that the thing is, when he was there, it wasn't even like his max potential, I would say. No, it wasn't even full. It was like not even halfway, I would say, because I see a lot of more potential than anyone in the cast. Jaune has the most potential out of anyone in the whole entire RWBY cast. Sorry about that, that's just my biased opinion. But anyways, let's continue in the story. Sorry about that for my rambling. But anyways, everyone's shocked, showing pity on what Jaune has to go through, because it seems like life is just kicking out at Jaune most of the time. Jaune was able to, because of Jaune and some of his decision making, and with the help of Ruby as well, with her fast thinking, and with the help of Jaune with his incredible tactics, mind and tactics, and incredible decision making and leadership skills with this as Ruby, they were able to save Valko. And because of their decision making, they were able to spare enough people to go fight the Grim Queen Salem. With Jaune saying, "Is this really how you want to end it? This blood between family? This worthless, endless killing for some fucked up goal? Why? I understand that your immortality, you have lived through immortality and that you blame the gods for everything, but have you not once thought that your own decisions made you go through this? That you put your own decision, your own choices made you put yourself into this position yourself without thinking, without looking a few steps ahead or thinking clearly. And you blame everything on everyone else and not taking responsibility? Because sometimes I've learned that putting the blame on others can put you so far gone and lower than you ever actually think. As he remembers through like the little vision that Jin gave, like put all of them through, Jaune says, because through the vision that we learned, you mostly put the blame on others. You never took the blame, your responsibility. I understand that you went through grief. I understand that you went through a tough time, that you weren't ready to let go. I understand that. As memories of Pyra, and not just that, his family dying. The memories of Penny dying, memories of his family dying. The only living relative left was Saffron, with Adrian. The pain of losing his sisters and mother and father at that moment, feeling useless, the amount of existential pain, the electricity like burning through his veins, the anger, the animosity that he felt at that moment, having to bury his own family. As he looks at her saying, I understand, because it's painful to lose those you truly care about. Do you feel hopeless? Like nothing matters anymore? You lose a part of yourself that you wish you can regain, that you beg to or the brothers themselves to give back, like you beg for everything. But the sad reality is, they'll never come back. They'll never return to you. It's a really hard reality to understand that and to accept. And I understand that you are alone throughout all that pain and you just wanted to say a last goodbye. But you should understand that the actions that you took for it doesn't give you the excuses for the actions you took now. I understand that you're in pain. You're still in grief till today. You only try to mask it with hatred and anger. Yet you still grieve for everything that is past. And with every word, she clenches her fist. She wants to deny everything that he says, that she wants to blame everyone. But then the thought happened of when she thought of blaming everyone else's decisions. That's when it hit her. She never took responsibility for her actions. She never thought through anything. She mostly went through emotions. She mostly followed for what her emotions told her to do. She never thought through things carefully. Like going against the gods because she wanted to be with her love one more time, but yet she understood that everything has a purpose and there's a balance between life and death. I understand. She starts to understand that she really never took anything seriously. She mostly let fear control her every decision making. The fear of not able to understand love, to fear of not able to live, truly live, and the fear of just being alone in the world, not with no one being by her side after everything she went through. She never cared, in a sense, what she lived through. What she mostly cared was anger, spreading anger, causing despair to others to feel what she felt. And something within her was starting to crack. With every word that Jaune kept saying, every word that she kept hearing, she started to realize that everything was her fault. She was the reason why everything started, yet she never took responsibility for it and started pushing it on to others. And then she started thinking back of what she said, what she kept thinking. Of course, some things were blurrier than others, but some other memories were strong enough to stick for even years and centuries. And she was shocked that saying, the girl that was stuck in the tower, wanting wanting freedom and gaining a sense of freedom, but yet she became her own jailer at the end because of fear, for pushing others away, for making others fear, hate. She was in shock. She became something even worse than the gods themselves. So, after taking an understanding of life and death, something happened. It almost sounded like almost the sounds of chains instantly breaking. Because remember that I don't remember which volume, but in a volume where it said that you have to understand the meaning of life and death. Because in a sense, if she understands just the meaning of living and the importance of living and dying and death, I would say that the curse would easily break, but yet her stubbornness and her selfishness on not trying to accept it, that it's her fault for her decision making, and for the things that she did. Yes, I understand that she was in grief and everything, but if you think about it clearly, a single decision of wanting to be free made her her own jailer, if you think about it, which is kind of ironic because she was free from her own tower, yet she was the only one that could have left. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry for not making sense. But anyways, after the chains were broken, something within both Salem and Austin felt uplifting, as simply just ghosts, as they seem to become ghosts, not knowing what's happening. And her body starts to turn nothing but to dust, as her soul showed her old self, where she like like Lady in the Tower and stuff like that, basically like that, which shocks everyone, saying with Yang simply saying, "It was that simple." Even Osmond saying, "Even this surprises me as well." I never thought that something it was as simple as her acknowledging life and death. Even Salem was just looking within her own transparent hands, with the amount of shock of what's happening. As then, basically, her seeing her hands, saying, and tears start to fall, saying, "I'm free. I'm finally free from such a dreaded curse." As she looks at John and just smiles at him with a pure sense of smile, with then everyone else looking at her, they felt conflicted. They were happy that they were able to, both Osmond and Salem were finally able to arrest, but yet unsatisfied for the unclimactic ending that was supposed to happen. That happened right in front of them. Whereas something as realizing life and death, meaning of it, the importance of it, it was as simple as just acknowledging an ideal or an idea that was already somewhat stated as facts, which is shocking that it was that simple. Yet something in stubbornness just kept her going from acknowledging the fact. As she looks at John saying, and just chuckle, said like just a melancholic chuckle, saying, "You know, looking back at everything now that I've done, I don't deserve such an ending. I've done horrible things. I've been such an imbecile, an idiot, a dolt for not even acknowledging the fact about the importance of it. Yet you, my descendant, with few simple words, were able to break such a simple curse. A curse that took even both the eye and Ozma centuries to find a way to break it." The irony of one of our descendants able to break the curse, but we, the old fools, stubborn to accept such an ideal. The irony. And she basically, both Ozma and Salem just laugh with basically everyone just sadly looking at them. But Salem saying, I think I know where I'm gonna end up at. But if I'm being honest, it's much better than just being alive for centuries, being alone. Just dying just feels so relieving. Able to know that I don't have to see those that I once cherished wither away while I still stand. It feels relieving in a sense. With Ozma, standing next to her and just grabs her hand, basically like he entangles his hands with her. She looks at his hand in shock, saying, "Ozma?" Ozma just smiles sadly at her, saying, "Well, I lived a couple of long lives myself, and I did things I regret. Things that even others would call inhumane. So I guess, well, you're not gonna go alone this time, are you?" As he looks at her with a smile, with shock in her eyes, saying, "But you hate," with Osmond saying, "No, I don't hate you. I never did. I was just saddened by the woman that I once fell in love with, into the woman that I once hoped to change for the better. I should have been a better husband. Should have been a better lover. It's my fault for not taking things into consideration and thinking ahead. So, really, it's not just your fault, really. It's mine as well. Even I was putting off some of the the responsibility off to someone else. I guess it took someone else tell us the perspective now. And so I decided to to carry some of the responsibility that you once have for both of us. Once and forever, we shall be together and not separate once more. With tears falling down Salem's eyes, shocked about this like outcome. There it is, outcome. As then, even everyone was giving them a bitter smile. Thus, Ozma saying, "Oscar," as he looks at him, as Oscar looks back at Ozma, "I would like to apologize for everything that I've done for you. Yes, I understand that words won't simply make everything magically go away, but I would like to give you something if you don't mind. And don't worry, it's really simple, really." And to be honest, I didn't know this was a thing until we read about the books of magic, that it can be passed down to someone that of your choosing, and it needs a specific frequency for the magic to actually work, which is quite fascinating. And I wish I can study it more. To be honest, the thing that I might miss most, really, about living, is coffee. That sweet, succulent nectar. That pure nectar of the gods. I wish I would miss it. Of course, he gets smacked in the back of the head by Salem, saying, "Seriously, even I drink the coffee, and I don't see the big deal about it." As they started sounding like an old couple, which is ironic because they aren't really. As everyone chuckles at it, as then instantly Osmond pulls out his hand, like stretches out his hand for Osmond to grab, and Oscar to grab, and Oscar does, with then instantly green, like sigils, like magical sigils, go around him, instantly going into his heart. He's like, "What just?" With then instantly Ozma saying, "With my last bit of magic, I was able to give, and with the help of the apple of Monty it was able to restore my magic. And of course, since if I use my magic while with the next host, it would merge both of our souls quickly." Which, of course, everyone's nodded and knowing this fact. But since Jaune was able to break the curse, somehow, really, which is really strange, I'm able to be set free so easily. I was able to give you a gift. You now hold magic itself within you. You're able to use both your semblance and magic, and in tandem, which shocks Oscar, saying, "I can use magic now?" With Ozma even chuckling, saying, "Yeah, do with what you wish with it. I have no concern about it." With Oscar just looking at his hands in shock, saying, "I can do magic now." With Salem looking at Jaune, saying, "I too have a gift for you. No, it might be better than Ozma's, though." As then basically trying to one-up her ex-husband, or husband, or lover, whatever. And basically she stretches out her hands with a smile. And Jaune is hesitant at first, but then just says, "Screw it." As he grabs her hand, as then literal orbs of what looks like elements, like fire, lightning, sound, whatever you can think of. And yes, I understand sound is not an element, but just hear me out. Basically, all the elements you can think of, like sound, darkness, light, fire, earth, water, lightning, wind, whatever, ice, you can guess. And basically, she says, now you have all all of the magical elements that I held, and you can, and by just the thought, I feel like you might be able to use it properly. I hope this helps you down the line whenever you need it. I know you can do it. As simple as that, finishing sentence, they instantly disappear without a trace. It's as if they never even existed before. But instantly, the ground shook. Everything was happening without even thinking. Like the castle was rumbling, a roar was heard. Instantly, everyone was saying, "Everyone, we need to leave now!" As she tried to use some of her glyphs, but sadly none of them. But sadly, she's out of aura. So Ruby's like, I think I can do some. I think I'm able to carry some of you out, but I don't think. But thankfully, Jaune was able to think quickly and use his aura to like boost her aura quickly. It took a few minutes, like few risky minutes, like let's just say like a minute for it to like fully heal, with like rocks falling, with Ruby saying, "Jaune, you need to hurry." With Jaune saying, "I'm trying as fast as I can, okay? You try to recharge with very little aura you have." With basically, some of the rubble was going to fall on him. But then instantly, he reaches out his hand to try to protect themselves, and it works. And then instantly, like, chaos started to happen, even worse, where the castle was falling apart. Earthquakes were happening, like, very violently. And then basically, instantly, Jaune just thinks of quickly, and like a thought like pops to his head, where everyone, and luckily everyone was able to escape, with Jaune just having to, with let's just say Jaune, with Ruby just running out of aura to get everyone else out, and Jaune gets stuck there, and she gets worried, saying, "Jaune!" She runs back. She tries to use her semblance again, but she runs out completely. But so she runs. She tries to run as fast as she can back to Jaune, as she yells out for his name, "Jaune!" As she gets to him, Jaune is surrounded by fire, as a lamp showed that everything was surrounding him in fire. She quickly jumps to him, saying, "Jaune!" With Jaune saying, "What, Ruby, what are you doing? You should get out of here." And she just says, "No, I'm not leaving without you again. You mean too much to me." And basically, Jaune was taken away that she would boldly exclaim, literally say her feelings like that. He was a bit flustered, but he literally pushed that feeling aside and saying, "But Ruby, you need to get out." As everything was happening, everything was falling apart. Everything around them was like starting to like fall pieces, rubble's falling. And in the last a big piece of wall of the castle was starting to lean down and quickly was falling down, and instantly darkness befell upon them. And then both Jaune and Ruby wake up and start to see in their surroundings that, in what they see, was a small countryside town, with the man saying, "Oi, love, oi, are you two okay? I want to make sure that you both are okay." I'm trying my best to do an English accent, but wait, let me just try to remember how to do it. Hold up. That both of you, are you lads okay? You both just appeared out of nowhere. You were just I don't know. You were just something, just a bit of light happened, and you guys You last and lad appeared out of nowhere, like magic for some reason. Like, do you know what? Do you know your names? Do you know anything? Like, what about your names? Do you know where you're at? Do you know where you're from? Like, do you have any family members we can contact? With Jean saying, "My name is Jean Arc." With Ruby saying, "My name is Ruby Rose." With instantly the stranger looks at both of them completely, like like the saying like they're weird or something. Or just looking at both of them like because the way they're looking is like completely unknown because of the night attire and the whole hood and skirt thing. With saying, "Do you did you?" And he looks at both of them saying, "Are you both from America?" With both of them look at each other, then look back at the man saying, What's in America?" And basically the man says, "Do you not know where you're at?" With both of them saying, just shaking their heads, saying, "Well, if you must know that you're in the countryside of London, of the UK." With both of them again looking at each other confused, and then looking back at the man saying, "What is a UK or a London?" And that's where I'm going to leave it off. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I fixed that Discord situation, but just to let you know, I'm actually using a different Discord. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll try to download the whole entire intro again. But I'm back, baby! Yeah, anyways, I hope you all take care. Have a jolly good time wherever you're at, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.